After 5,000 years of slumber, Zhong Tianshun finally awakens. But the world he sees is now ruled by mages. In the lost forest of Philo Town, goblins attack a young boy. Just as panic spreads, a monster-hunting squad appears, led by the Pharaoh City mage Catherine. They're not the only ones. A mysterious silver-haired figure casually signs up for the same job. Temporary alliances are messy. When Catherine's teammate whips out a spiritual power detector on Zhong Tianshun, they're floored. The reading is a big, fat 0. In a world built on magic, 0 spells useless trash. Mockery and disdain hit him immediately. Little do they know, this 0 carries a power that once reshaped the heavens and earth itself. Zhong Tianshun is unfazed by the doubt. But the pink-haired companion in the shadows, the future fox spirit by Qing, still in disguise, watches with cold amusement. She sees right through these rookies who flatter their superiors. A quiet warning echoes in her mind. The real danger in this forest isn't just the surface-level threats. The most terrifying ones strike when you let your guard down. The team wipes out a wave of goblins, feeling like it's a field trip. Catherine's water magic makes quick work of them, and her teammates lavish her with praise. Only Zhong Tianshun and the watchful Bai Qing remain on edge. Ahead, the ancient stone tower ruin exudes a deeply unsettling aura. Bai Qing's warning was on point. The storm they've been sensing is finally about to hit. In the tower's depths, a massive goblin chieftain lies, as still as a statue. The team breathes a sigh of relief, thinking it's dead. A greedy fool can't resist and reaches for loot. The moment his hand is about to touch the corpse, 2 slits of crimson light snap open. It was a trap. The goblin chieftain revives instantly, skewering the greedy fool in one brutal thrust. A sinister 3-foot glows above its head. Their intel was wrong, dead wrong. This isn't a level 1 pest. It's a full-blown level 3 demon beast. The sheer gap in power is enough to wipe the entire team. And now, its sights are set on the strongest person here, Catherine. Catherine grits her teeth and raises her strongest water barrier. But against the relentless force of a level 3 demon beast, it shatters like paper. A brutal claw strike slams into her, sending her flying with a spray of blood. It's over. She feels her life force draining away. A hopeless thought echoes. Is this where I die today? Despair envelopes the scene. Just as everyone accepts Catherine's fate, time seems to stop. An unremarkable hand, using just 2 fingers, casually clamps down the demon claw that could shred steel. It's Zhong Tianshun. He stands before Catherine, an unmovable mountain. The man mocked as a powerless 0 now has eyes as cold as ancient glaciers. Zhong Tianshun tells everyone to back up, a blade of grass still between his lips, like he's facing a chicken to slaughter instead of a level 3 demon beast. His reason is chilling. If I make a move, I'm afraid it might hit you guys too. This isn't a warning. It's a declaration from a higher dimension. The power forgotten by the age of magic is finally about to bare its fangs. The beast is still roaring, but Zhong Tianshun is already bored. He slowly raises a hand, blue sparks dancing between his fingertips. Hey, big guy, he smirks. Ever been struck by lightning? Before the echo fades, he shifts his hand seal and bellows a command that shakes the heavens. Heavenly lightning. It's here. True dimensional warfare. No longer mere magic, but the ancient art of cultivation. A blinding blue thunderbolt rends the heavens and strikes the demon beast with divine precision. The invincible level 3 monster, without even a chance to scream, is instantly vaporized into smoldering dust by this heavenly might. The rain clears. The moon shines on a silver-haired back and a pile of ash. Silence. Everyone, including the dying Catherine, stares at Zhong Tianshun as if he were God. Who could have guessed the one to obliterate a level 3 demon was this powerless weirdo? Catherine's mind reels. He can call down heavenly lightning? He's hiding his power? In a world of mages, he's a walking, breathing natural disaster. With the monster gone, Zhong Tianshun shamelessly declares, all the loot is mine. He even gives away the monster's fingernails, keeping only a small, unassuming pendant for himself. This miserly act instantly shatters the godlike halo he just had. Truly, a moment of glory gone in seconds. Just as they're reeling from his stinginess, a single message changes everything. Wait, his eyes light up with a blinding intensity. Did you just say, this monster corpse can be exchanged for money? For cash, his 5,000-year-old inner miser has finally, truly awakened. At the Hunters Guild, Zhong Tianshun cashes in the Goblin Chieftain corpse for a staggering 1,300 spirit stones. He's in such a good mood, he even throws the other team members a bone. But his real prize is the strange and scathed pendant radiating spiritual energy. He probably doesn't know it yet, but that little thing is far more complicated than a bag of stones. Back at the inn, Zhong Tianshun studies the pendant while soaking in the bath. Suddenly, it erupts in blinding light, churning the bathwater. A stunningly beautiful woman with silver hair, pointy ears, and a lazy expression emerges from the water. Her first act? She pounces on the startled Zhong Tianshun and plants a deep, passionate kiss on his lips. What is happening? After the kiss, the woman lazily introduces herself as Bai Qing, a 1,000-year-old fox spirit sealed inside the sky fox pendant. Asleep for 5 millennia, she was awakened by Zhong Tianshun's massive spiritual energy. To thank him, and to replenish her own drain power, she decided a mouth-to-mouth recharge was the way to go. This fox spirit's gratitude is something else. Zhong Tianshun is speechless. The bath is over. Bai Qing freely flaunts her unique bewitching powers, trying to test or tease her new master's willpower. The scene is steamy, but Zhong Tianshun is no innocent youth. He's more attuned to power than pretty faces. He instantly senses something strange about this fox spirit, and her awakening seems far too convenient. The bewitchment continues, but Bai Qing is starting to worry. Why does her signature charm magic seem to have no effect on this man? It's like throwing a pebble into a bottomless ocean. A flicker of panic hits her. If even her most reliable skill is useless, how can she survive in this strange, dangerous new world? Zhong Tianshun cuts to the chase. Her charms are completely wasted on him. He demands answers. Who is she, and what does she really want? Bai Qing finally confesses her truth. She is the spirit of an ancient treasure, the Sky Fox Pendant. To cultivate and advance, she needs the spiritual energy of a true cultivator. She sensed his ocean-deep power and sought him out. It's a deal, plain and simple. Her services for his energy. Bai Qing slowly reveals the harsh truth. After the Great War 5,000 years ago, cultivators were practically annihilated. The Empyrean, what he slept in, might be one of the last traces of their existence. A new age has dawned, ruled by magical races like merfolk, elves, and succubi. Zhong Tianshun truly is the last of his kind. This news hits him like a physical weight. Even more shocking for Zhong Tianshun, he has lost all memories of the Great War. The 5 millennia are a blank void he cannot pierce. Bai Qing doesn't know why he survived alone. This amnesia is an invisible chain binding him to the tragedy of the past. He must recover his memories, and he must find a way to revive the world of cultivation. Bai Qing begs to follow Zhong Tianshun. She needs his energy, but in return, she possesses an incredible talent for sensing ancient treasures and spiritual power. For Zhong Tianshun, who's currently in the business of, collecting valuables, she's basically a cheat code. One needs a charge, the other a detector. Deal. The new treasure-hunting duo is officially formed. First mission as a team, the Pharaoh City Square. Bai Qing's senses go haywire, screaming massive treasure. She drags Zhong Tianshun through the crowd. Pushing past, they see it. In the center of the square, embedded in a stone pedestal, is a simple yet majestic sword radiating holy light. The crowd whispers with excitement. It's the legendary sword of the hero. A sea of people floods the square just to glimpse the legendary holy sword. Rules are clear. In 4 days, only the children of the 4 great families who passed the trial of the brave can even try to pull it out. Countless heroes have tried, all failed. But in the crowd, Bai Qing's fox ears twitch. Her senses are screaming. There's absolutely something off about this sword. As Zhong Tianshun finally sees the sword clearly, he's struck by a bolt of lightning straight to his soul. Buried memories crack open, and a name escapes his lips. Fulong. That's not some hero's sword. That's his personal flying sword that has traveled across time and space with him. They fought demons together 5,000 years ago, and after the war, it fell here, waiting for its master's return. Zhong Tianshun strides forward without hesitation, making a beeline for his Fulong. But he's instantly blocked by crossed blades. Back off, a guard roars. This sacred sword is only for the family's children who passed the trial. Who do you think you are trespassing here? The crowd jeers, labeling them as delusional fools. The tension skyrockets. Just as Zhong Tianshun is about to teach these guards some manners, Catherine's voice cuts through the air. Stop. He is an honored guest of the Steve family. The crowd gasps. The eldest daughter of the Steve family vouches for him personally. The guards instantly back down, stammering apologies. Catherine not only solves this mess, but also offers to get him the recommendation letter needed for the trial of the brave. The gears of fate click into place once more. A few days later, at the trial of the brave venue, Ghost Valley, Catherine watches the alluring fox spirit by Qing by Zhong Tianxuan's side, a strange sense of melancholy stirring inside her. These two, both dressed in ancient garb, must be close, right? Meanwhile, Zhong Tianxuan and Bai Qing have already stepped into the valley. Sensing the thick demonic miasma everywhere, Zhong Tianxuan doesn't show fear, but a curious, dangerous smile. This place might be the perfect stage for him. The real trial starts now. The hero's trial kicks off in the sinister Ghost Valley. Holy swords? Demon Cordis. Everyone has their own agenda, throwing themselves into this death tournament. But our ancient cultivator, Zhong Tianxuan, only cares about one thing. Will this venture even be profitable? He can't be bothered with navigation. He just tosses a stick, leaving his fate to the wind. But the friends in the valley have other plans. The trial hasn't even started, but the tension is already explosive. Carl, the young master of the Onassis family, scans his rivals with a gaze sharp as a blade. Who's he looking for? The first to fall, of course. Meanwhile, the kind-hearted Catherine is worried, not about the trial, but about that ordinary human mocked by everyone for his lack of spiritual power, Zhong Tianxuan. The gates are open, the bloodshed begins. While others analyze routes and gauge opponents, Zhong Tianxuan simply strolls into the fray with his fox spirit by Qing. What others see as a perilous death trap, he sees as a prime resource-gathering location with complementary loot. Once inside, the old ancestors' methods leave by Qing utterly bewildered. A banshee blocks their path. His first instinct isn't fear or exorcism, but, quick, hold her down. This outfit looks pricey. Unbelievable. The noble art of demon slaying has been reduced to a side hustle in second-hand clothing. The banshee reveals herself, an eerie apparition bathed in purple light, a classic horror movie opening. But in Zhong Tianxuan's eyes, this isn't a horror film. It's a vintage fashion showcase. He's already mentally calculating how much spirit crystal this outfit might fetch. The banshee tries to be scary. Zhong Tianxuan responds with a one-hit KO. Physical purification. A fight? Please. In his book, this is called mandatory asset decommissioning and material recovery. Afterward, he just nags Bai Qing. What are you waiting for? Strip it for parts. The Ghost Valley's reputation is officially ruined. And so, a legend more terrifying than any demon spreads through the Ghost Valley. Two lunatics who strip every ghost they meet. Where they pass, not a scrap of clothing remains. The guards tremble in fear, not of the demon beasts, but of these two fashion vultures whose stripping skills are more demonic than the demons themselves. Meanwhile, the real bloodbath begins elsewhere. The arrogant Carl isn't here for demon hunting. His hero's trial is about eliminating the competition. Allies? Just lambs for the slaughter. With a smile, he wields the blade. In the depths of the valley, the darkness of humanity proves deadlier than any demon's breath. Back with Zhong Tianxuan, the vibe is completely different. Slay, strip, collect the core, all in one smooth motion. The level 3 Evil Phantom made Demon Beast? To him, just a walking demon core gift bundle. Bai Qing looks at the glowing core in her hand and thinks of the first time, maybe tagging along with this stingy old-timer isn't so bad after all. But the demon maid isn't giving up, still hurling threats. Zhong Tianxuan just grins, his eyes glittering with gold coin-shaped visions. Can you keep your clothes? That depends on whether my coin purse approves. The battle's outcome was decided before it began. His target was never her life, but her wardrobe. Loot +1. Zhong Tianxuan holds the freshly acquired demon core, beaming from ear to ear. This thing can be sold. For a lot. The boring trial suddenly turns into a happy gold-farming dungeon run. He's already strategizing. If he clears out all the demon beasts in the valley, could that fund his sex revival? But just as he's happily farming mobs and Carl's happily farming rivals, real catastrophe descends. The valley floor trembles. A malevolent force, far beyond the trial's intended scope, tears through space with a deafening roar. Organizer Catherine's face turns pale, a level 4 demon beast, a gargoyle. The trial must end now. And too late. Zhong Tianxuan and Bai Qing are already face-to-face with the colossal monstrosity. The gargoyle's dark, toxic breath instantly fills the air. Even Zhong Tianxuan is affected, his skin darkening, his chi stuttering. Bai Qing's heart clenches in panic, ready to leap in. But Zhong Tianxuan waves her back. He looks up at the gloating gargoyle, and, instead of panic, a smile spreads across his face. Poison? Toxic gas? In his eyes, this oversized rocking core piñata is like a year-end bonus delivered to his doorstep. Don't get my loot bag dirty, he says calmly. This won't take long. The gargoyle is still laughing, mocking human frailty. The next second, its laughter dies in its throat. It watches as the poisoned human begins weaving hand seals, chanting words, not magic incantations, but the forbidden mantras of a lost cultivation era, vanished for 5 millennia. Celestial thunder of the 9 heavens, heed my command. Boom, crackle, kaboom. Thunderclouds gather above the valley. Golden lightning tears through the darkness. Not one bolt, not 10, but a cascading waterfall of divine judgment. The lost supreme technique, 5 Thunder's righteous method, returns to the mortal realm. The gargoyle's so-called absolute defense granite body, before this celestial might, shatters like a dry cookie. The gargoyle's dark magic? Before the pure, righteous, divine lightning, it dissolves without even a sizzle, utterly annihilated. It dies in confusion, unable to comprehend how this spiritless, mortal harbored power that could command heavenly tribulation. Its last sight is a blinding sea of thunder and that human's icy gaze. The dust settles. An eerie silence reigns. The entire Ghost Valley has been leveled. Mountains became plains, leaving only scorched earth and tendrils of smoke. Zhong Tianshun dusts off his hands, digs out the perfectly intact level 4 demon core from the rubble, and blows off the ash. Flawless condition. Priceless. Crisis averted. Poison remains. Bai Qing bites her lip and leans in, not with a healing pill, but with a gentle kiss on his neck. Threads of residual toxin are drawn out by her. Zhong Tianxuan's ancient face flushes red. His 5,000-year Dao heart almost falters. This fox spirit. Her after-sale service is surprisingly thorough. Days later, at the Ghost Valley entrance, everyone assumed Zhong Tianshun and Bai Qing were dead, even mentally drafting eulogies. Then, the two of them stroll out, carrying bulging sacks, looking as nonchalant as if returning from a market trip. Unscathed, deafening silence falls. Their relaxed posture, their stuffed loot bags, and Zhong Tianshun casually trying to sell a vintage banshee dress to a passerby completely shatter everyone's understanding of reality. Church priest Mel, sensing the vast yet abyssal power within Zhong Tianshun, immense as a starry sea yet elusive as a void, is left speechless in shock. And in an even darker corner, the spies of the demon goddess have already sent the intelligence to the abyss. The last cultivator has returned, possesses power to obliterate level 4 demon beasts. The true storm is just beginning. Stepping out of the Ghost Valley, Zhong Tianshun and Bai Qing left the waiting crowd in absolute disbelief. They looked as casual as if they'd just returned from the market, casually holding a level 4 demon core. Its monstrous energy signature alone nearly made the priestess Mel collapse on the spot. And the ancient immortal? He immediately turned to a passerby, trying with a straight face to sell some worn clothes salvaged from Ghost. Mel shook with fury, her worldview shattered. Little did anyone know, deep within the abandoned valley, a pair of violet eyes was already relaying this report to a being known as the demon goddess. Soon after Zhong Tianxuan's departure, a violet figure emerged amidst the valley's ruins. An agent of the demon goddess, she cursed her lost mount, grumbling about the long walk back. But as she surveyed the area, a wave of residual energy washed over her, a pure, immense pressure she hadn't felt for 5,000 years. Her expression of anger twisted into pure terror. This signature, this suffocating familiarity, belonged to a celestial immortal. The hero trial ended, and everyone gathered in the sacred sword plaza. The arrogant Carl, proud of his 2 level 3 magic cores, sneered at Zhong Tianshun, calling him a glory-stealing thief. Zhong simply ignored him. All eyes were on the centerpiece, the 1,000-year sword Fulong. Confident as ever, Carl stepped up first to try his luck. The result? Carl strained until he was purple, veins bulging, yet the sword didn't even twitch. He collapsed in a heap, met with sighs and jeers. Just as everyone resigned to another failure, Zhong Tianshun walked forward. "I'm only here to retrieve what's mine," he stated calmly. In that moment, a miracle. The slumbering sword erupted with a resonant light, leaving the entire square speechless. With a simple grasp, Zhong Tianshun pulled the Fulong from its pedestal as easily as picking up a twig. Instantly, a pillar of light shot into the sky, and an excited, trembling voice echoed from the blade. "Master, it's been 5,000 years." A shimmering green form materialized, the sword's spirit. It began excitedly recounting their glory days, but Zhong found it merely noisy. Then, an even brighter flash erupted, forcing the spirit to reveal its true form. A majestic, blue-green dragon coiled above the city streets. The sword spirit Fulong was a divine dragon. The entire city erupted, people kneeling and crying out for their true hero. Zhong Tianshun squinted at the magnificent beast and blurted out, "Who are you?" He remembered nothing. The divine dragon fumed angrily, calling him ungrateful. This epic reunion was completely derailed by the amnesiac immortal's utter confusion. Just then, Catherine, who had harbored feelings for Zhong all along, rushed forward, blushingly eager to be the first to congratulate her hero. Overjoyed, she babbled about letters of thanks and recommendations, completely oblivious to Zhong's state. The sword's unleashed powers seemed to affect him, manifesting phantom fox tails behind him. Before Catherine could even register the change, a surge of uncontrolled energy from the sword blasted towards her. Boom! Catherine was petrified. The celebratory square plunged into dead silence. A moment of triumph instantly turned into a tragedy. As for our main character, Zhong Tianshun looked at Catherine's stone form, frowned, and his first thought was, the repair bill. Wait, I didn't break her. Who do I send the cleaning invoice to? But the title of hero was now his. The head of the Steve family, Catherine's father, personally hosted a grand banquet in his honor. The magnate showered him with praise, only for Zhong Tianshun to barely glance up and ask, "Who the hell are you? Why should I eat with you?" The awkward silence was deafening. It took frantic explanations about the man being Catherine's father and the head of one of the four great families to finally get Zhong to relent. Stepping into the opulent Steve manor, Zhong Tianshun wasted no time with pleasantries. As soon as old Steve offered free room and board, Zhong went straight for the jugular, extending a hand. "Spirit stones? I pulled the sword for your family. Time to settle the bill." His shameless, money-first attitude left the seasoned patriarch speechless, forcing a bewildered agreement. This hero cared nothing for glory. He only cared about the payment. At the banquet, Zhong Tianshun showcased his inhuman side again, stating flatly he wasn't hungry and didn't need to eat. As everyone stared, the divine dragon form of the sword spirit appeared and began devouring the feast, yelling 5,000 years without a meal. Suddenly, a merchant approached, interested in buying the level 4 demon core from the Ghost Valley. Hearing its price, enough to buy a mansion in Pharaoh City, Zhong's eyes lit up like stars. "I'm going to be rich." But joy turned to rage. The gluttonous dragon, in a moment of distraction, swallowed his 2 precious demon cores. Zhong Tianshun exploded. "You traitor! Did you just eat my house?" That was 2 mansions worth of property. Just as he was about to slay the dragon for its crime, old Steve quickly intervened, promising, "We'll compensate you with an even bigger mansion," barely placating the miserly immortal's murderous intent. Things got even more absurd. The 4 great families took turns showering the new hero with gifts. A mansion? Sure. Supreme paladin armor? Fine. 3 beautiful devoted maids? Okay. The highest medal of knighthood? Why not? Zhong Tianshun's response to all of it? Cash. The armor's too heavy, cash. Can I eat the medal? Cash. The maids, well, maybe they can stay. His attitude left the entire aristocracy utterly bewildered. Faced with 3 beautiful maids offering their services, Zhong Tianshun's unyielding nature shone through. He stated with utter disinterest, "I'm only interested in things besides money. Don't bother." The maids, completely demoralized by this rejection, ran off in tears, convinced of the hero's iron will. What they didn't know was that Zhong's real reason might have been worrying about their salaries. The skeptical priestess, Mel, could hold back no longer. She proposed to closely sense Zhong Tianshun's power, desperate to understand this anomaly who wielded the sacred blade without psychic energy. Zhong didn't refuse, but he set a condition. "You can touch, but it's going to cost you." The moment Mel's hand touched him, it was over. She recoiled as if electrocuted, collapsing to the floor, drenched in sweat, her eyes filled with nothing but pure terror and awe. She stammered to her companions, "It's not psychic energy, it's ancient power like in the sacred sword, but vaster, deeper, a bottomless abyss." She finally understood. She wasn't dealing with a man of this age at all. While the city remained puzzled by their hero, a city-shattering alarm tore through the night sky. A suffocating, primal evil descended. The legendary primordial evil dragon, dormant for millennia, had returned, attracted by the sacred sword's energy. It circled above, and with a single breath, turned prosperous city blocks into seas of fire. The city's mages were helpless against this ancient terror. Pharaoh City was doomed. The dragon raged, inferno spreading, despair swallowing the city. Then, one figure stood atop the highest wall. He didn't even draw his sword. Facing the apocalyptic breath, he simply exhaled. A miracle. The city incinerating dragon fire was dispersed by a single, calm breath. Jaws hit the floor. Mel, in on the secret, explained with deadpan exhaustion that this dragon was an ancient entity from the sword's era, drawn by its power to attack the city repeatedly. Generations of psychic powerhouses had been powerless. Now, looking at Zhong Tianshun on the wall, she was beyond surprise. If it's Zhong Tianshun, this is nothing unusual. You'll get used to it. Zhong Tianshun stepped forward, appearing instantly before the colossal dragon. As it charged in a mad rage, he simply uttered, "Sit down." Then, with a backhand slap to the dragon's head, boom! The shockwave reverberated through the entirety of Pharaoh City. The city shook as if in a massive earthquake. One slap left the primordial dragon dazed and the entire population questioning reality. Zhong Tianshun observed the writhing dragon, a spark of recognition in his eyes. He remembered this beast. During the ancient war between immortals and demons, he'd watched it charge in, swallow a crucial artifact, and vanish. It hadn't died. It had suffered for 5 millennia. A smile touched Zhong's lips. Looks like my fee for today just doubled. Controlling his strength with surgical precision, Zhong Tianshun unleashed a fraction of his power, forcing the dragon to regurgitate the artifact that had tormented it for millennia, a shimmering ancient mirror. Zhong grabbed it, elated, a spatial treasure, the millennial mirror. This was the real prize. The mirror held a fully functional pocket dimension within it, a world unto itself. At that moment, the blue-green divine dragon reappeared, coiling around the bamboo forest. It looked down at Zhong Tianshun, its tone heavy with sorrow. You are him, and yet you are not fully him. Zhong frowned. What do you mean? The Fulong sword spirit gazed at him and slowly began to reveal a truth that would shatter his entire existence. The divine dragon confirmed it was indeed his closest companion. But the true Zhong Tianshun was the Shantian sect master who, 5 millennia ago, fought the demon god and perished in a final self-detonation. You, the dragon stated, are but one of his remaining soul fragments, a shard that gained self-awareness and became a new Zhong Tianshun. His sporadic memories, his miserly nature, all stem from this fractured origin. And he wasn't the only one. In that cataclysmic war, the demon god's soul too was shattered by arcane means, splitting into 9 fragments scattered across the world. Zhong's destiny? To gather those fragments and restore the cultivation world. Sontiansun reacted predictably. Hell no. Don't rope me into this savior business. Someone else can do it. Fight demon fragments? He just wanted to find valuable treasures. Zhong Tianshun made up his mind instantly. Let's go. Time to leave this city. His new goal, scour the world for those city-worth soul fragments. Unknowingly, across the continent in a demonic sanctum, a reborn demon goddess was receiving a legendary artifact, the pollution cube. As she admired it, her smile froze. She had just felt an unmistakable surge. One of her soul fragments? No, one of his. It had just flared into activity. The demon goddess crushed the cube in her hand, a wave of murderous intent shaking the entire sanctum. Flames of vengeance burned in her eyes as she uttered the chilling command, "Find him and bring me his head." A bounty spanning 5 millennia was officially issued. The miserly cultivator had just made the demon realm's most wanted list before even leaving the city. On the eve of departure, Bai Qing watched Catherine practically drowning in her own anxiety in the bath. She'd had enough. With a subtle gesture, she wafted a tendril of pink fox mist into the room. Under its influence, Catherine's emotions and courage exploded. She charged out, driven by amplified resolve. Wrapped only in a bathrobe, Catherine stormed into Zhong Tianshun's room. Her face was scarlet, courage maxed out by the fox charms, finally blurting out what she'd held back for so long. I love you. Please don't go. Zhong Tianshun stared at the noble lady. Flawless face, perfect figure, and most importantly, filthy rich. After a long, silent 3 seconds, he replied, "Maybe you should, put some clothes on first." The night before leaving, Bai Qing the sly fox gives a helping hand, pushing the smitten Miss Catherine to muster her courage for a bold confession. That night, hearts connect. The next day, they barely leave the city gates before being ambushed in the forest. Talk about efficient blocking. 3 of Pharaoh City's S-class powerhouses, led by none other than Carl's mother, Ginny Onassis, are waiting. Their demands, surrender the holy sword, answer for the crimes, and face execution. This formation would be intimidating for anyone, except Zhong Tianshan. He can't help but laugh. Claims about the sword belonging to Pharaoh, about blood feuds and family honor. It's all meaningless noise. His response? Just 8 chilling words. Those who stand in my way will die. They strike first. A tempest of thunder and lightning descends, the so-called power of an S-class psychic. To someone from the cultivation era, this level of attack wouldn't even be good for warming up the rookies. In the next moment, jaws hit the floor. Zhong Tianshun doesn't even flinch. He simply grabs the supposedly unstoppable Thunderbird and crushes it with his bare hand. Another S-class warrior's holy light shield shatters like glass from the backlash. It's finally dawning on Pharaoh's top elites. They've messed with an unfathomable deity. Jenny, seething with hatred, goes berserk. Her S-class power explodes in a storm. Crimson whips tearing through the air, each strike capable of cleaving mountains. Looks terrifying, right? But in the face of an absolute gap in power, it's nothing more than impotent rage. Zhong Tianshun can't even be bothered to use a proper technique. He zeroes in on Jinny's clearly expensive combat gear. Not a bad outfit, he muses. Probably worth a lot of magic crystals, don't you think? The sheer, mocking disrespect leaves them all utterly humiliated. And then the ultimate insult hits. Zhong Tianshun whips up an undressing swordsmanship on the spot. A flash of sword light, and all of Jinny's formidable defenses are bypassed. Her magnificent battle attire shatters into a cloud of useless fabric. At that moment, the dignity of an S-class powerhouse is stripped bare, just like her clothes.